realize I'm a little late. I normally do this late April. Here we are almost mid-May. Well, we are mid-May. And already you can see what's up ahead. The pond has begun to be choked with lily pads again. Hate the stupid lily pads. Beautiful day. High about mid-80s. Here we are on Dewey's Mill Pond again. Hoping when we get out here we'll lose some of these lily pads, but the good news is they're not, at this point, an encumbrance to paddling. See, this is right where the wind changes the look of the water. It was hitting right about here. And, okay, well, no, there's still lily pads here, though. Thought maybe you get out here far enough and deep enough, be less of them. There is, just less. You go out and paddle around what I call Reed Island. I don't think it's that on any map. This is Dewey's Mill Pond that we're in. And you look right up, straight up ahead here, up in the trees. That's the mill. That's Dewey's Mill from really old times. I don't know if it's 1700s. I think it's definitely 1800s. Oh yeah, nice out here. Probably gonna get sunburn. I haven't been in here for at least 2 years, I don't think. I have to go back and check my YouTubes. But I think it's about 2 years ago I was in. But I got in my kayak in April, so there wasn't any lily pads on at that point. They hadn't had a chance to grow back. Lovely. Now, even though there's a nice breeze out here, you can definitely feel the 85 degrees. One thing I forgot to do was to bring my fishing pole. Gonna do a little fishing. Well, early enough in the season and the water hasn't warmed up and dulled the fish's appetites yet. Fishing is best back over on the backside of Reed Island there. I caught a nice bass back in there. I heard somebody caught a northern pike back in there too. But that was ice fishing several years ago. So, the story of this kayak, I told this the last time I had my kayak out for a run. This belonged to my brother, and he had, I think, 3 kayaks on a little platform back behind his storage house on Cape Cod. And what happened was, they had a windstorm one day, a lot of wind on the Cape because of being right on the ocean. They had a windstorm one day, and a big old tree limb came down and crashed on top of this one and another one. And he said, oh, by the way, the crack is right in the bottom. As a matter of fact, as I'm sitting here in a kayak, I can look down and I know where it was. I can't see it because I completely welded it. Welded it with the hard plastic stuff this boat's made out of. But anyway, Gary and I worked on them at the same time. He worked on his, I worked on mine. We both patched our kayaks, and he gave me this. And initially I used it on the Cape, but he said, no, that's yours. I fixed it, so it's mine. So I brought it home to Vermont, and I love going out here on Dewey's Mill Pond. I've been out on the Ottaquechee all the way up to the ledge rock in the middle of the river and back. And boy, the reeds are high this year. Can't believe. I think that's the highest I've ever seen them. We'll go around the other way. We'll go around this. Usually I go around to the right. We'll go around to the left this time. But now you're seeing how high those reeds are. Good grief. That's the highest I've ever seen them in this pond. So when you fix one of these kayaks, if you got a crack or something, what you got to do is you have a melting iron, and they make them specifically for this. But you know, as long as you've got a good, like a soldering iron or something with a bit of breadth to it, not just a point, what you do is you go ahead and melt right along the crack, and you pay new plastic, not plastic, but yeah, well, it's hard rubber, hard plastic. You pay new stuff right into it. Now, what I did different on this one, I took some stainless steel screen wire and bedded it right down in there to give it some strength across the weld, and then I filled in over the top of that with a whole lot more of the hard red plastic. That there's a word for that stuff. You guys probably know it. Anyway, the hard red plastic that this boat's made out of. And by the time I got done, it was completely no leak, seaworthy. I had to also repair the seat that I'm sitting in, which is now solid, but that was cracked. When that limb hit, it must have hit hard. That's all I can say. The seat was cracked. The rear deck was cracked. All of that got repaired, and so it made this a very pond-worthy vessel. I love it. When we were down on the Cape, oh good grief, last year, the year before, my brother said, let's go. By the way, there's another pond very close to my mom and dad's house, and Gary said, let's go kayaking, and he had a couple of them at that point. I think the one he had repaired, but there was also another one he had come up with, and so he took both of them and went for a nice long row on that pond. I don't know what the name is, but Thing is, the one that he loaned me to use that day, did not like it. It was much broader than this. I like how narrow this kayak is. It's narrow and it's easy to paddle, and I like the stability. Believe it or not, the stability of it. It just feels. It doesn't feel tubby. It feels like you got a nice streamlined boat in the water. Okay, there's Mr. Duck going out here. There he goes. See, out here around the island, there's no reeds. I'm sorry, not reeds. There's no lily pads. You're getting toward the deep end of Dewey's mill pond back here. And it's deep enough to where the lily pads, for now, they're not coming up this high to the surface of the water. There's Mr. Duck coming up ahead. I think, no, that's a Canada goose. Last time I was in here, there was a whole flock of Canada geese over on the other side of the island, just hanging out and squawking like crazy. There you go. Wind today is supposed to be south, coming out of the south, 5 to 10. And even though it feels like more than that out here, it's very gentle breeze. You got some nice rivulets, or well, rivulets, whatever you call them, ripples all over the surface. It looks pretty. Right here we've come in the lee of the land, so there's well, I said there's almost no wind, but there wasn't for a minute. Never mind, it's back. Now, dead ahead, what you're looking at, you can't see it, but that is an isthmus. That is just a body of land, narrow body of land, probably about 60, 70 feet across, with trees on it, no, maybe 100, okay? And right on the other side of those trees is the river. That's the Ottaquechee River, the running right along parallel with the edge of Dewey's Mill Pond. There's the Ottaquechee River runs right on the other side of that little body of land. And there's a walking path all along there. Because back over to the left over here, let me see if I can, right back in that notch right back over there, okay, is the parking lot for the water department. There's a dam down there, the Dewey's Mill Dam, and you can park in there and come over here and fish on the back side of the pond. But You can leave your car there and do that whole walking path from the parking lot there all the way down to the parking lot on quote-unquote Main Street. Well, if you've done this paddle thing with me before, you know our Main Street is a country road. Anyway, I love it. I'm a native Vermonter. You'll never find a Vermonter happier than when he's paddling around a pond in the middle of Vermont. At this point, we just got a nice long stretch home. We're not going to extend this out today. I wanted to just get out of the house, and I did some quite a bit of cleaning up of my boat. It had spent the winter out on a couple of milk crates at the edge of the back lawn, and it was a mess. So I got out the hose and scrubbed it down and got everything pretty well cleaned up. And I've had it sitting and waiting at the top of the bank to pull my truck. I pull the back of my truck right into the bank. And that way I can just drag the bow of the boat right over into the back of my truck. Anyway. Oh, feel that breeze, that's nice. Oh, by the way, you see that traffic? That's Main Street. If you want to call it that. Like I said, it's more of a country road than anything. It's paved, but still a country road. It doesn't become really Main Streety until it gets in the middle of the village. I wonder how this is. I only had 55. I only had a reading of 55 on my power gauge for this cell phone, and I'm hoping it's going to make it all the way back and not run out. So far, we're doing good, doing well. We got 18 minutes on it right now. Thank you guys for sticking by me. Hope you've enjoyed this paddle around Dewey's Mill Pond. We're gonna have to come down here and do some fishing. When you hit, what is it, 60? Like when you hit 60 years old in Vermont and you're a, resident, you get, for back when I did it, it was $50 lifetime license for hunting, fishing, and whatever. And so I turned 60, and I went and got that. And I keep it in my hunting jacket back at the house. Now, before I go fishing, I'll grab that out of my hunting jacket and bring it with me, because I remember one day, oh, I know, it was right after I got my license for the very first time. I was down here fishing, and wouldn't you know, the game warden showed up and wanted to know if I had a license. I very, very proudly showed him my brand new lifetime license for hunting and fishing in the state of Vermont. Being a native Vermonter, I'm proud of that. I really enjoyed that benefit. I think my shoulders are going to be feeling this tonight. That's the most paddling I've done in a long time. One of the cool things about this time of the year, I mean, here we are mid-May. You look at the green up ahead of you, we're still pretty much in chartreuse stage with a lot of our greenery here. You give it another couple of weeks and we'll be full green, the nice deep Vermont green. But for right now, we've still got quite a bit of our greenery that's pretty chartreusey. It's been a lot of fun to finally get back out here and enjoy such a beautiful, beautiful place. You know, God only made just so many perfect places. That's a Vermonter's attitude. One of them is Vermont. All right, guys, thanks. God bless. Have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next time around.